That's right. Before we begin, a final instruction to everyone in the audience. Kindly put your phones on silent to avoid any disturbances during the program. Thank you, everyone. A pleasant morning to everyone present here. We are pleased to have with us today our chief guest, Honorable Mr. Justice A.V. Chandrasekhara, former Judge, High Court of Karnataka, our beloved Dean, Professor Dr. T.R. Subramania, sir, and Registrar Dr. Praveen R., respected faculty, loving parents, and my dear incoming juniors. A good day starts by the grace of God, and I would like to call upon Pranav from BBA LLB Honors to render the invocation song.
Jaya Ganesha Gananath Dayani Jaya Ganesha Gananath Dayani Sakala Vighna kar dura Hamare प्रथम धरे जो ध्यान तुम्हारा दिन के पूरण का सारे जय गणेश गणनाथ लंबोदर भजवदन मनोहर कर त्रिशूल परशूलन धारे रिद्धि सिद्धि तो चवर दौड़ावे मूषक वाहन परम सुखारे जय गणेश गणनाथ ब्रह्मादिक सुरधावत मन में ब्रह्मादिक सुरधावत मन में ऋषि मुनि गण सब दास तुम्हारे मोक्ता नंद सहाय करो प्रभु मोक्ता नंद सहाय करो प्रभु भक्त जनन के तुम रखे पारे जय गणेश हमारे बाबा के साथ जय गणेश सनि धा बाबा बदनि धा बाबा बदनि धा बाबा मरे बाबा मरे सा जय गणेश गणनाथ गणनाथ गणनाथ
Thank you, Pranav, for that soulful rendition. I would like to request our respected Dean, Professor Dr. T.R. Subramania, to deliver the welcome address.
A very good morning to ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Sri Chandrasekhar, former Judge, High Court of Karnataka, and Judicial Member, Administrative Council, Judicial Council of the Karnataka Government, Dr. Praveen Mishra of the University, respected teachers, dear newly admitted students, and their parents. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all. You have made up your mind to pursue a course in law at the CMR Law School. CMR Law School is one of the finest law schools today in India, which has the best of infrastructures and the best of faculty. You will get to know soon the type of faculty that are recruited here and the teaching staff and others. I don't wish to elaborate further. On behalf of the university and on behalf of the Board of Management, I welcome you all. Dear parents, always you should be counseling your children. And when you counsel your children, actually, it is in the best interest and future of the child. A child can become anything today in this country. We have seen people who rose to dizzy heights and have become prime ministers as well. In such a situation, naturally, taking care of them with a sense of discipline is your concern. On behalf of the university, I welcome you all. I also welcome Sri Chandrasekhar, who, in spite of his busy schedule, traveled long and is with us at the appropriate time. I welcome you, Honorable Sir. I also welcome Sri Praveen, Dr. Praveen, the CMR University. He is with us and he has been with us in all our endeavors. Whenever we just say, he will just straight away come and help in whatever manner that is possible. I also welcome you, sir. I also welcome our beloved teachers and the entire supporting staff of this function. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I would like to humbly request Honorable Mr. Justice A.V. Chandrasekhar and other dignitaries on the dais to inaugurate the academic year 2021-22 by lighting the ceremonial lamp. One of the junior students. It's lit. It's Thank you, everyone. It is indeed an honor to be standing here in the presence of our chief guest of the event, Honorable Mr. Justice A.V. Chandrasekhara, former Judge, High Court of Karnataka. His lordship was appointed initially as directly recruited district and sessions judge in 1996 and served as additional district and sessions judge at Bangalore and Mangalore and as principal district and sessions judge in Udupi, Kolar, Bangalore Rural and Mandya districts of Karnataka state. His lordship has also served as the member secretary for the Karnataka State Legal Services Authority and director of the Karnataka Judicial Academy and the Bangalore Mediation Center. He was sworn in as an additional judge to the High Court of Karnataka in 2013 and was sworn in as a permanent judge in 2016. During his tenure, his lordship has rendered many landmark judgments on crucial issues pertaining to various aspects of the law. Recently, his lordship was appointed by the Honorable Supreme Court of India to head the committee constituted to inquire into details of properties in Dr. Shivaram Karant layout. I deem it my privilege to welcome Honorable Mr. Justice A.V. Chandrasekhara for the inaugural address.
Professor Dr. Subramania, respected Dean of the CMR School of Law, Dr. Praveen, Registrar of CMR University, my most respected members of the teaching faculty of the CMR School of Law, the supportive staff members, beloved and most respected parents who have persuaded their children to take up the study of law for their future, and the beloved students who have taken the courage to join the study of law. It's indeed a great pleasure for me to come to this institution often and to share my experience with the students about the different facets of law. I'm also in the Board of Studies of the CMR School of Law. Dr. Subramania, while welcoming all of you, has made an observation that you are fortunate to join this School of Law. Whether his observation is justified or not is to be vouchsafed by me. Being the one may think that being the dean of the school, he will always have an inclination to praise his institution. But if it is justified by a man who is also very much attached to the field of law, would be relevant. Dr. Subramania was the Vice Chancellor of Karnataka State Law University for more than 3 years. He was responsible for formulating several novel schemes and introduced some important initiatives in the university, as a result of which we have been seeing good education and its outcome in the university. He was the head of the research wing of National University of Judicial Sciences at West Bengal, and is fortunate that CMR School has been able to persuade him to come over here and take the reins of the dean of the school. He is an acclaimed teacher of teachers in teaching law. One of the recent books written by him is on hazardous substance, for which Honorable Mr. Justice Abdul Nazir, Honorable Judge of the Supreme Court of India, has been kind enough to write a foreword. It's a very important book. It speaks in volumes about his academic qualification and in-depth knowledge of different aspects of law. Is an authority on I may not be mistaken if I state that he is an authority on international law in India. We are all fortunate to have him as the leader, being the dean of the college. The law lecturers supporting him are excellent. I am given to understand that two lecturers, two faculty members of the law school have been awarded with doctorate. They have obtained PhD. Dr. Sanjana on criminal law and Aruna on which subject? Aruna on which subject? Women and the law. The teachers who are assisting Dr. Subramanya are very, very committed, knowledgeable, experienced teachers. And I find here a great cohesion amongst the teaching faculty. The management headed by Shri K.C. Ramurthy, the chairman of CMR University, CMR institutions, the chancellor, vice chancellor, pro tem chancellor, they are excellent people who are committed to give quality education. One thing which attracted me to this institution is their commitment to give a quality education. And it is in this regard CMR School stands at a higher pedestal in the state of Karnataka. It is considered to be one of the best law colleges in India as per the ratings given in which journal, sir? In the latest journal. I congratulate the parents who have persuaded their children to join this law school. I also congratulate those students who have taken a decision by themselves to join this college. I am confident that they will have a very smooth go in this college. They will acquire knowledge to the extent possible. Please remember, this is like any other professional course. If you have joined the medicine course, you should have worked at least 10 to 14 hours a day. Soon after your medical course, if you want to, you will be invariably you will have to do house surgeons. Yesterday, I had been to one of my friend's house who is the chairman of the Karnataka Administrative Tribunal. His daughter is studying in a medical college. She was telling she has to work at times 24 hours during this house surgeons. So the same level of work is required. There is no substitute for hard work. You have to work hard. You have to burn the midnight oil. The subjects you have are varied. It is unlike the subjects which were being taught in law schools 20 years ago, law colleges 20 years ago. You will be taught English, you will be taught economics, you will be taught political science. Because clear understanding of men and matter is an essential requirement for becoming a good law graduate. Most of you may ultimately think of joining the profession of law and become lawyers. Of course, as a lawyer for 12 years, I always found lot of thrill. Irrespective of the fee we get, there is lot of thrill. Therefore, there's a great opportunity for many of you to become good lawyers and practice before the courts, conduct examination in chief, cross-examination, submit arguments, try to persuade the court to accept your view. It will be really a thrill. And those who have already made up their mind to become lawyers, hats off, all of you will become good lawyers. It is not as though becoming lawyer is the only goal of a law student. No, the avenues are too many now. If you are good, if you come out of law school with flying colors, you will be welcomed. There are many law firms, MNC companies, and Now the opportunities in judiciary is also quite high. On an average, 70 to 100 civil judges will be recruited in Karnataka every year. I am a regular resource person for Karnataka Judicial Academy because I was a sessions judge and a district judge. So they will invariably ask me to share my experience on various aspects of law. I've been called upon to formulate the timetables, pick subjects for sharing experiences. Young girls of 24 years, 25 years, they have joined as civil judges. Think another 20, 22 years, they will become high court judges. And there is opportunity for those who have practiced minimum 7 years as lawyers, they can apply for district judges post also, direct recruitment. If you work very hard and make a name in the field, and definitely you can pass the examination and also qualify in the interview. And if you become a district judge at a relatively young age, say 37 years, 35 years, 15 years, 12 to 15 years, you will become a high court judge. And there are judges in the present, there are presently judges in the high court who have hardly not even crossed 50 years. They will have 12 years, 13 years, 14 years. We don't know how many of them will go to Supreme Court and become chief justices. And I tell you, Justice Bhanumati, a lady judge from Tamil Nadu, she became the judge of the Supreme Court and has retired as number 5 judge in the Supreme Court, and she was in the collegium which selected the judges for the Supreme Court and the Chief Justice. She joined the district judiciary as a district judge in 1988 and became a judge of the High Court in 2003 and rose to become the Supreme Court judge. And if you practice for at least 10, 12 years, the higher judicial, that the constitutional courts may invite you to become the judges of the High Court also. There are instances, suppose you practice in Delhi Supreme Court, and if you are a hard-working advocate, the Supreme Court may directly call upon you to become a judge of the Supreme Court. Justice P.S. Narasimha, who was an advocate of the Supreme Court, great man, a very knowledgeable man, a scholarly man, and who represented Ram Lalla in Ram Janmabhumi's case. He also assisted senior advocate Parasharan effectively, and now he is the judge of the Supreme Court, and he will become the Chief Justice of India after Justice Nagaratna terminates her office. Now there is specialization in law. You can become a specialist on space law, maritime law, insurance law, merger and acquisition, arbitration, apart from regular litigation like civil cases and criminal cases. Friends, all of you have taken an appropriate decision to join the law course, especially in CMR school. You are fortunate to have Dr. Subramania as the dean. You are fortunate to have wonderful teaching faculty. They are all very committed. The commitment is known. Many of them have given lectures, and those lectures on various aspects of law are in YouTube of the college. You have to be thorough in English. You may be fluently speaking English, but English for the purpose of writing is different. You must, every day you must read Hindu, Indian Express, apart from Kannada, and you must be thorough in your own language, mother language also. If you are a Kannadiga, you must know what is TBTs, Mankuti Manakaka. If you are a Tamilian, you must know something about Tamil literature and history. For all, law is nothing but a bundle of common sense. Law is not something else, it is a bundle of common sense. You have to be thorough in subject. If you have extracurricular activities like sports, painting, singing, please continue to develop. They ultimately help you. You have to be thorough in Constitution, which is the mother of all laws. Constitution of India was adopted into ourselves on 26/11/1949, and since some of the provisions of the Constitution had not been given effect to, the entire Constitution came into effect from 26/1/1950. Please understand, the forefathers of the Constitution took 2 years, 11 months, and 16 days to give us a big, wonderful Constitution. I may be a Hindu, some of you may be Muslims, some of you may be Christians, some of you may be Parsis. We have our own religions have our own epics. Ramayana and Mahabharata are very dear to us. Bible is dearer to Christians, and Quran is dearer to Muslims. But Constitution is the Bible for all of us, is the Mahabharata for all of us, because it provides for all details as to how a country is to be taken forward. The forefathers were great visionaries, and it is therefore it is our duty to spread the message of the Constitution to our people. At this stage, I would like to bring to your kind notice that when we adopted the Constitution to ourselves in 1949, and the Constitution was made effective from 26/1/1950, fundamental duties were not part of the earlier Constitution. Only fundamental rights were enshrined in Part 3. You may ask as to why those great visionaries did not and could not visualize the insertion of a chapter for fundamental duties. They were great men of values. They had lived their life according to the values present at that point of time. They could not have even thought of that a day would come when our people would destroy the forest, would destroy our flora, fauna, culture. Having known all this, Swaran Singh Committee was established by Mrs. Indira Gandhi, the then Prime Minister, on the basis of the recommendations given by Swaran Singh Committee. A separate chapter is included. Article 51A speaks about the fundamental duties. There cannot be any rights, fundamental rights, without fundamental duties. It is in this regard, even before under the 42nd Amendment, the fundamental duties were inserted into the Constitution, and the importance of fundamental duties have been highlighted in 1973 also. In Keshavananda Bharati's case, a constitution bench consisting of 13 judges. Prior to that, even before the government of the day would think of introducing a separate article for fundamental rights, Justice K. Hegde Kannadiga, who was the judge of the Supreme Court, in one of the leading judgments of the Supreme Court, Chandra Bhavan Boarding and Lodging versus State of Mysore, AIR 1970, SC 2042, had impressed upon the need of observing fundamental duties. Quote, it is fallacy that under our Constitution there are only rights and no duties. The provisions of Part 4 enable the legislature to impose various duties on the citizens. The mandate of our Constitution is to build a welfare society, and that object may be to the extent the directive principles are implemented by legislation. So 1976 is the year in which fundamental duties were inserted into the Constitution by way of amendment under 42nd Amendment. Even so, many years before that, our own Supreme Court had visualized the importance of fundamental duties. And one of the important fundamental duties which is relevant to all of us is Article 51A. All law students having joined a professional law course must remember this particular article very well. 51A. To strive towards excellence in all spheres of individual and collective activity, so that the nation constantly rises to higher levels of endeavor and achievement. So individually, as students, we will have to strive to achieve excellence. As students of CMR school, you have to strive hard to achieve collective excellence and thus take our nation forward. You know, our country is facing many challenges. On the one side, China is trying to be an aggressor, and on the other side, we have a permanent irritant, Pakistan. And substantial portion of our budget is earmarked towards defense. You can't choose neighbors, as late Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee has observed. You can't choose neighbors. There are neighbors, you will have to manage with the neighbors. Being the students of law, as students who study Constitution in its entirety, must take the message in the Constitution. India is a country developing. India is a fast developing country. I don't want to call it as a developing country. We are almost on the threshold of development, entering the arena of developed nations. We are not yet being termed as developed nations. Of course, the pace with which the development is going on, others are also already looking to this. You are all agents of change. Please don't forget that you are just students of law. You are not only students of law, but agents of the Constitution and agents to spread the message of the Constitution. Please work hard. You may not get time. You may not be able to get appropriate, sufficient time for other activities, but you have to manage in such a way that you dedicate adequate time to your studies and some time for your extracurricular activities. This is one of the wonderful age. You are in a wonderful age. You have all inertia. Please make use of this inertia in an appropriate way. Make your parents feel proud for having persuaded to join you in study of law. This institution is really a great institution. I reiterate once again that Dr. Subramania, as the head of the institution School of Law, and Shri K.C. Ramurthy ji, the chairman of CMR University, ably aided by the registrar Dr. Praveen and Vice Chancellor, Protem Chancellor and Chancellor, will provide the best opportunities for all of you to come out in flying colors. Once again, I wish you long life, good health, all prosperity, and good education. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Lordship, for the enlightening words. I now invite Dr. Praveen R., Registrar and Registrar Evaluation, CMR University, to deliver the presidential address.
A very good morning to all. Respected Honorable Justice Mr. A.V. Chandrasekhara, former Judge, High Court of Karnataka, Dr. T.R. Subramanian, Dean, School of Legal Studies, my colleagues at CMR School of Legal Studies, respected parents, and dear students. It's a great opportunity to be part of this program, orientation program, wherein we are starting the first year classes for BLLB honors, BBA LLB honors, BCom LLB honors, 3 years LLB program, and LLM programs. At the outset, I would like to thank Chandrasekhar sir for throwing light on the scope of legal education for the students who have tried the legal programs. As sir said, you got a wonderful opportunity here at CMR School of Legal Studies to explore yourself in legal education. Here in CMR University, as you continue your study and your stay for 1 year or 3 years or 5 years, you will be knowing how different and unique is our curriculum at CMR School of Legal Studies. The curriculum of CMR School of Legal Studies is based on charge-based credit system, where the suggestions given by Bar Council of India, also the guidelines of UGC have been incorporated. And also from 21-22 batch onwards, the highlights of National Education Policy 2020 has been incorporated to the maximum extent, which says education is just not for qualification, but for life. The same motto has been taken into consideration and curriculum has been developed. And from this year, that is 21-22, the career preparedness and the community service have been made part of the graduation. Once you complete the required number of hours in this career preparedness courses and also community services, you will be given the graduation. That is how we are looking at the education of School of Legal Studies. So I congratulate all the students and also the parents for making your mind to join the CMR School of Legal Studies. And as you all know, we stand almost within 5th place under this country, the best schools of legal schools in India. And as you all know, education can be linked to a great canvas. And we would like all our students to throw as much paint as they can on the canvas of their education. We are here with you, all our faculty who are very committed, will be always with you throughout your journey. We assure our students that with the vision, mission, and objective with which CMR University has been established, and with talented and committed faculty members, students will make most of the opportunity that they are offered and achieve the goals that they aspire to. I once again, on behalf of the entire CMR fraternity, welcome all students to the CMR School of Legal Studies. I thank the School of Legal Studies for giving me an opportunity to be part of this program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I now request Professor Srinidhi K.R. to propose the vote of thanks.
Very good morning to one and all. It is my privilege to be proposing the vote of thanks on this wonderful occasion, which represents something really unique. Hopefully, the first post-COVID batch of freshers. At the outset, I would like to thank our chief guest for the day, Justice K.V. Chandrasekhara, who's been, a constant support for all of CMR School of Legal Studies. He's been advising us, he's been giving us a lot of support, and we have also closely worked with him on several projects. He's been amazing today, at introducing all the first year students to possible avenues that they can undertake after having completed this law program. Thank you, sir. I would further like to thank our chairman, Shri K.C. Ramamurthy, who's the Member of Parliament at Rajya Sabha. He's also a former IPS officer, and he's been instrumental in setting up of the university. He was here in the morning and unfortunately couldn't join us for the function, as he's a pretty busy man. In absentia, I'd like to thank. I'd further like to thank our registrar, Dr. R. Praveen, who's like the pillar of CMR University. And it's like with respect to anything and everything that needs to be done at CMRU, he's there. He's always there, constantly providing his support and strength from behind. Thank you so much, sir. I would further like to thank our Dean, Dr. T.R. Subramanya, who's been a great source of inspiration for all of us at CMRU School of Legal Studies. like Justice Chandrasekhara was just mentioning earlier, he's been to places, at countless places, garnered great experience, and he's here to share all these experiences with us. And he's been, slowly and steadily improving the academic credentials of the school. Thank you, sir. I would also like to thank our dean academics and our deans and directors of various schools under CMR University who have constantly been providing us their, support at all endeavors. I would also like to thank the faculty of CMRU School of Legal Studies who've been working relentlessly, tirelessly through the pandemic, the lockdown from homes. Now they are back, they're raring to go. All of us are prepared to address any concerns that you may have and try and educate you into becoming great legal professionals. Our students who have endured, who have come back, they've started offline classes. I mean, our seniors, they're doing a great job. I'd like to thank them as well. I'd like to further thank the parents who are here today and those who could not make it for this day, those who are watching us live on YouTube as well. I'm sure you have been a constant source of strength for your parents, for your wards and children through this tough period, because this last year, I'm sure, has been very difficult for all the students. I remember the year I went through my board exams, really horrible, and to go through that entire thing during a pandemic and a lockdown must have been exceptionally hard. And I'm sure you wouldn't have been able to do it with your parents' support. Thank you, parents. I'd also like to thank, most importantly, the freshers for whom we are here today. Subsequent sessions will address you all directly in order to equip you with all that is required for you to obtain a good legal education here at CMR. Thank you, freshers, for coming here today. Finally, I would be remiss if I were not to thank the MC for the day, our dear student, Rishi, who will take over now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. With this, we come to the end of the inaugural session. I request everyone to kindly remain in their seats as our dignitaries leave the hall. I request everyone to kindly remain in the hall. The tea and snacks are being ready. And meanwhile, I thought that we can have an interactive session. So, sure. So the faculty is here, the seniors are here, and you guys can interact amongst yourselves, or if anyone has any particular questions to ask, they can go ahead with it. So how was the session, guys?
Yeah, I think it's a little too early for interaction or questions. I'm sure they are bursting with questions. We'll address all questions in the subsequent sessions. But I guess we finished like about 5 minutes early, which is a rarity nowadays. Either way, the tea is on the way. I would request all of you to stay back and have tea with us, especially all the parents. And I would invite you all to attend the subsequent sessions as well, because today's sessions are a little general in nature. It consists of a lot of information that may be important for not only the students but the parents as well. So I think before we get into that phase, we would invite you all to maybe kind of interact amongst yourselves, because you have your new batchmates. The parents, I'm sure, will be very anxious. I know I usually am the first day of my kids' school. We want to meet other parents and exchange notes on what the kids are going to be doing and stuff. I think this time can be an optimum time for this. And we'll have tea served in right next door. You can use this site, exists for the same. Please have tea with us. After tea, we will meet again for the subsequent sessions. Thank you.
Yeah, before we break, we start again sharp at 11:30. Now, you can actually